Have you ever caught yourself thinking, where did the time go? Maybe it was while folding laundry, staring at a grandchild's photo, or catching your reflection in the mirror and wondering how the years passed so quickly. It sneaks up on us, doesn't it? One minute we're raising kids or chasing a career, and the next, we're asking questions like, how can I stay sharp? How do I keep this body moving the way I want it to? Or maybe even, can I really live well into my 90s? Now, if you've ever had those thoughts, you're in good company. More and more people today are not only living longer, but living better. And the real secret? It isn't about chasing the latest supplement or hopping on a treadmill for hours. It comes down to a few small, powerful habits you can do every single day. In this video, we're going to talk about 6 daily habits that can help you live longer, feel better, and keep doing the things you love, well into your 90s and beyond. Think of these habits like daily deposits into your health bank. The more consistent you are, the greater the rewards, energy, independence, mental clarity, and even joy. So, let's start with the first habit. It might sound simple, but don't underestimate it, moving your body with intention every day. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons or lifting heavy weights unless that's your thing, of course. What I mean is purposeful movement. That could be a gentle morning stretch while your coffee brews, a short walk around your garden, or a light dance to your favorite oldies in the living room. Movement keeps your joints limber, your muscles engaged, and, maybe most importantly, your heart happy. Let me tell you about Margaret, a woman I met through a community wellness group. She's 87 years old, sharp as a tack, and full of spunk. Every morning, she does 10 minutes of Tai Chi in her backyard. Rain or shine. She told me it started as a way to help with balance, but now, she swears it helps clear her mind and sets the tone for her whole day. And science backs her up. Gentle movement can improve blood flow to the brain, help regulate blood sugar, and reduce the risk of falls, all major factors when we talk about living past 90. Even if your knees creak or you're not as steady as you used to be, there are always options. Chair exercises, water aerobics, or just marching in place during TV commercials, it all adds up. The key is to do something every day that reminds your body it's still in the game. Now, once you've got your body moving, it's time to talk about what you're fueling it with. That brings us to the second habit, eating with purpose, not just for pleasure. Don't worry, I'm not here to take away your favorite slice of pie or tell you to cut out everything you enjoy. Life should be lived, and food is one of its great joys. But what I am saying is this, food can be your medicine or your slow poison. And the difference often comes down to daily choices. Let's talk about color. The more colorful your plate, the better. Deep greens, vibrant reds, purples, oranges, these aren't just pretty to look at, they're full of vitamins, antioxidants, and compounds that help fight off inflammation and disease. A handful of blueberries in the morning. A big, crisp salad at lunch. Roasted vegetables with dinner. It's not about perfection, it's about building small, consistent habits that feed your cells and protect your brain. There's also something powerful about simplicity. Fresh, whole foods as close to their natural state as possible. Things your grandparents might have grown in a garden or picked up from a local market. Beans, oats, leafy greens, a bit of fish or nuts, all of these have been shown to support longevity, especially in people who've lived past 90 in the so-called blue zones around the world. And then there's water. You'd be surprised how many aches, headaches, and even feelings of fatigue can be traced back to simple dehydration. As we get older, our sense of thirst tends to dull. So it's important to stay ahead of it. A glass of water when you wake up, another before lunch, and so on. Even adding a slice of lemon or cucumber can make it feel more refreshing. There's no need for a fancy diet or counting every calorie. But taking a little time each day to eat mindfully, to notice what's on your plate and how it makes you feel afterward, that can be a game changer. So we've talked about moving your body and nourishing it well. That's a powerful start. But there's another habit that often gets overlooked, and it's just as important as the others, staying socially connected. And yes, we'll get to that next. Staying socially connected. Now, this might surprise you, But loneliness can be just as harmful to your health as smoking or obesity. In fact, studies have shown that people who maintain strong social bonds as they age are more likely to live longer, healthier lives. And no, we're not talking about needing a huge group of friends or throwing big parties every weekend. It's about meaningful connection. That might mean a phone call with an old friend, a chat with your neighbor while you water the plants, or even a friendly exchange at the grocery store. These small interactions matter more than we think. They remind us that we're part of something bigger, that we belong. Take Harold, for example. He's 91 and still volunteers once a week at his local library. He told me it's not about the books anymore, it's about seeing familiar faces, sharing stories, and having a reason to get out of the house. That sense of purpose, of being needed, can add years to your life. And more importantly, it adds life to your years. If getting out isn't easy for you, there are still ways to stay connected. Try joining an online group that shares one of your hobbies, whether it's gardening, knitting, or playing cards. Or write a letter, yes, an old-fashioned letter, to someone you care about. You'd be amazed at how powerful a handwritten note can be, both for you and for the person receiving it. And don't forget the power of listening. Being there for someone else, even just to lend an ear, can strengthen your own emotional health. Social connection isn't just about what you get, it's also about what you give. Now, while your relationships keep your heart full, your brain needs a little daily workout too. That brings us to another essential habit, challenging your mind. The brain, like any muscle, needs exercise. And no, that doesn't mean you have to take up calculus or start memorizing the dictionary. But keeping your mind active with things that interest you, things that make you think, create, or even laugh, can help keep it sharp for years to come. Maybe that's doing a crossword puzzle every morning with your tea. Or learning a few words of a new language just for fun. Maybe it's picking up a musical instrument you haven't touched in decades. Or diving into a new book and letting yourself get completely lost in the story. The point isn't perfection, it's stimulation. I remember meeting Elaine, an 82-year-old who started painting during the pandemic. She had never touched a brush before, but she said it gave her a sense of joy she hadn't felt in years. Now she paints every Sunday afternoon by her window and even teaches a small class at the community center. That creative spark? It's a powerful antidote to the fog that can creep in as we age. And don't underestimate technology either. While it may seem intimidating at times, learning to use a smartphone or a tablet can open up a whole new world. You can play brain games, video chat with family, or explore new hobbies with YouTube tutorials, just like this one. Keeping your mind engaged doesn't mean forcing yourself into things you hate. It means being curious, being playful, and reminding yourself that it's never too late to grow. And speaking of growing, there's one more habit I want to touch on in this part of the conversation. It's one that often goes unnoticed but has an incredible impact on your health and happiness, getting good, restful sleep. Now, I know sleep can be tricky. Many people over 60 start to notice that their sleep patterns change, they wake up more often, have trouble falling back asleep, or feel less rested in the morning. But that doesn't mean you have to settle for poor sleep. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. It clears out toxins from your brain, balances your mood, and even strengthens your immune system. So making sleep a priority isn't a luxury, it's a vital part of healthy aging. Start by creating a calming nighttime routine. That might mean turning off bright lights an hour before bed, listening to gentle music, or reading something light and comforting. Avoid screens right before sleep, they can mess with your body's natural rhythms. And try to go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even on weekends. Your body loves routine more than you might think. If you wake up during the night, don't stress. Just try some deep breathing or progressive muscle relaxation. And if you're lying in bed tossing and turning for more than 20 minutes, get up and do something quiet until you feel sleepy again. One woman I know, Barbara, swears by her chamomile tea ritual every night. She says it's not just the tea, it's the act of winding down that makes the difference. Find what works for you. Whether it's soft lighting, lavender oil, or a warm bath, building a little nighttime rhythm can be your secret weapon for better rest. So far, we've explored how movement, nutrition, connection, mental stimulation, and sleep all play a role in helping you live not just longer, but better. These habits aren't about perfection. They're about progress, gentle, daily choices that add up over time. And there's one more habit to cover, one that ties everything together, and often makes the biggest difference of all. And that brings us to the final habit, one that often doesn't get the attention it deserves, cultivating a positive mindset. Now before you roll your eyes and think, well, that's easier said than done, hear me out. Staying optimistic doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect or forcing yourself to smile when you don't feel like it. It's about choosing how you respond to life, especially when things get tough. Because let's be honest, life doesn't get easier with age. We face more loss, more changes in our bodies, more reminders that time is passing. But the people who live the longest and stay the healthiest? They don't let those things define them. They choose to focus on what they can do. They look for moments of joy, however small. And they practice gratitude. Gratitude can change your brain. Literally. Research shows that regularly reflecting on what you're thankful for can reduce stress, improve sleep, and even lower your risk of heart disease. It rewires your mind to focus more on what's good rather than what's missing. You don't need a fancy journal or a complicated system. Just take a moment each day, maybe before bed or right when you wake up, and think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. It could be the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of birds outside your window, or a good laugh with someone you love. These little acknowledgments build emotional resilience, like armor for the spirit. Then there's laughter. Never underestimate the healing power of humor. Watch a funny movie, talk to someone who makes you smile, or laugh at yourself when you forget where you put your glasses, again. A sense of humor is a sign of mental strength. And every chuckle sends a wave of feel-good chemicals through your body, boosting your immune system and easing tension. Spending time outside can also lift your spirits. Even 10 minutes in the fresh air, with the sun on your face, can help improve your mood and regulate your internal clock. Nature has a way of reminding us that life moves in seasons, and that's okay. Just like trees shed their leaves to grow again, we go through changes that make space for new joys. It's also important to stay kind to yourself. Be gentle when your energy dips or your memory slips. That's normal. Aging isn't about decline, it's about adapting. You've come through so much already. Give yourself credit. And speak to yourself the way you would to a dear friend, with compassion, patience, and encouragement. All of these little mindset shifts, when practiced daily, add up to something powerful. A longer life isn't just about the number of birthdays you get to celebrate. It's about the quality of those days, how you feel, how you think, and how you connect with the world around you. So let's take a moment to reflect on what we've talked about. Moving your body with intention. Eating to nourish rather than just to fill. Staying connected with others in ways that matter. Challenging your mind with curiosity and creativity. Getting the restful sleep your body craves. And keeping your mindset grounded in gratitude, purpose, and joy. You don't have to do everything perfectly. In fact, you don't have to do everything every single day. But if you start with just one small step, one daily habit, you'll be amazed at how it builds momentum. Maybe you start walking 10 minutes in the morning. Or you swap out a processed snack for a handful of nuts or fruit. Maybe you make a phone call to someone you've been meaning to catch up with. Or just take a moment to breathe deeply and feel thankful for being here, right now. Remember, it's never too late to feel better. It's never too late to start something new. And it's never too late to add more life to your years. If this video spoke to you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What habits have made a difference in your life? What challenges are you facing? You're not alone, and by sharing, you might help someone else along their journey too. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got so much more to talk about when it comes to staying strong, sharp, and joyful in your golden years. Here's to living not just longer, but better. to waking up each day with purpose, to laughter, love, and feeling fully alive at any age. You've earned it.